Hello, good afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, good morning. If you're here in Central Time, or if you're on Pacific Time, like Hank, good morning. 9 a.m. there, 11 a.m. here, 12 p.m. over there. So first off, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm your host, Bobby Melendez. This is Fitz Talk Today with Fish Tank Hank and myself. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. It's the Fitz Talk Network. So first off, Hank, I know you got some news, so I'm going to start off with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm on my way to Florida soon. I got a buyer for my house. They're going to purchase it on the 5th, and I should be in Florida on the 6th. So I'm finally going to get to go see my Miami Dolphins play in their home stadium. With me being in the Coast Guard, moving all over the place and living everywhere, I got to see the Dolphins, mostly up in New England, play the Patriots. But I haven't ever gotten to see my team play at home, and now I'm going to get a full year. I hope there are people out there that are going to show me how to tailgate at Hard Rock, because I haven't ever been there before. So
I'm sure they will be. Good morning, Steve. Thanks for joining, brother. We appreciate you.
Yo, Steve.
So I don't know. I bet there are going to be plenty of people who are going to be there, and I know you're excited about that Pittsburgh game, and I know plenty of people who are going to be on the Fitz Talk Network who are going to be at that game. So that's going to be excited.
Right on.
But hey, as always, yes, it's kind of slow in Dolphins land. Just we're waiting for a training camp, or whatever. But it's never slow here. We always have things to talk about. We like to have fun, Hank. Fitz Talk Today,
we do.
Overtime, and of course, it's not boring on the basketball side of it, but football, it's okay. But we're going to make it fun today. Well, first off, we're going to talk offensive line. Obviously, Tua had that interview or that podcast with Tyreek Hill. Everybody talked about that. But we're going to let everybody else talk about that, and we are going to go ahead and go and talk about some other things. We have some Dolphins trivia, which is going to be fun. I just explained to Hank what it's going to be about, so I didn't want to throw it on him during the show. So now he knows. So I know his brain is going to try to figure out, remember certain things. And then we're going to do fill in the blanks. We're going to do fill in the blanks on the Dolphins season, leader in passing yards, leader in rushing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So as you're watching, whether you're watching live, thank you. Again, hit that like and subscribe. Or you're watching post-production, put the comments below on your answers. And again, hit that like and subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter. Tammy says,
I'm going to be welcomed in the 305.
That's right. That's right. All right. So let's get this ball rolling. So let's first talk before we get to our games here, Hank, where everybody I want to be participating in the comments. Offensive line was a huge issue last season. Everybody talks about it. They talk about it when they talk about the quarterback position. They talk about it for years and in general. But despite
it's been 20 years or so since they had an offensive line, but yeah,
decent offensive line. I mean, you could submit questions. We go for it. We love questions. We'll answer them during the show. So nothing's really changed though. After all the emphasis on the offensive line, really the main thing that changed, which we'll discuss in the show, is the wide receiver room. Now the offensive line really hasn't changed that much if you think about it. Terron Armstead, Pro Bowl left tackle from the New Orleans Saints, and Connor Williams, the 11th best guard in the NFL last year, ranked from the Dallas Cowboys, who more than likely is going to play center. Other than that, Jesse Davis is gone, whatever. But other than that, it's not much change. It's still Austin Jackson. It's still Robert Jones. It's still Leon Eichenberg, Mike Dieter, So I have to ask you, projected-wise, offensive line may be, Terron Armstead, maybe Jackson at left guard, Connor Williams at center, Robert Jones at right guard, and whoever is going to be the right tackle, Eichenberg, or maybe that rookie. So, honestly, you're pretty hyped up on offensive line, as we are. We're excited. But I have to ask you, that not much has changed. So what's the difference between why is the offensive line going to be better this season than they were last year?
All right. That's simple. It's because it's not so much that the offensive line changed so much. It's going to be coaching, which is probably one of the biggest issues we had on offense with Flores. He couldn't maintain people. He couldn't keep people in the building to do the job that needed to be done. Now, why? I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not going to speculate. Okay. I just know facts are facts, and our offense sucked while he was the coach. Now you have an offensive minded coach. You have 3 new running backs. You have wide receivers. You have 2 people that got replaced on the offensive line and a major one at left tackle. With those types of changes, you know that Miami's offensive line is going to have a lot of pressure off of it, because with the wide receivers we have, they're going to take everybody deep to start with, okay? So they're going to pull everybody away from the line. They're not going to be trying to just push on through the line anymore. And if they try to do that, they'll dump it off to one of the backs out of the backfield. So they're not going to just fill the box and flood Miami anymore like they had been doing. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way. And if they do it, Miami's going to score on them a lot. So that's why I think the offense is better, Bobby. What do you think?
Yeah, first off, I want to say thank you for joining us, Ed, who says, Hank, for tailgating, he jumped through a table with Bills fans at a tailgate. I know Bills fans love the tailgate, and I went to a Bills game with my stepdad, Ralph, and that was a lot of fun, and they were great too. So good morning, good afternoon, Ed. Thank you for joining us. Color commentary, thank you. I love this jersey, my favorite player. Appreciate you joining. Good morning, Ralph, or good afternoon for us, and good morning to Hank. But yeah, Hank, I think the key word for the offensive line, if you're looking at it just on paper, it's not much different. But the huge difference here, as I've been saying, I said during last season as well, is the coaching staff.
Yes.
The coaching staff, Frank Smith, used to be the offensive coordinator, of course, Mike McDaniel, Applebaum, Coach Applebaum out of Boston College. And what I love to hear from those guys always is about teaching. It's about teaching the player. And it's about not fitting them into the scheme. It's about fitting the scheme around them. So I am very confident in our coaching staff. Now, is it a foolish optimism? Maybe. We've been here, right? We've been optimistic about coaching staffs in the past. We've been optimistic about players in the past, and we've been fooled in the past. But I just hearing what these guys are saying, seeing how they are with these players early on, even in mandatory minicamp, voluntary minicamp, whatever, you see the excitement of these guys. You see that they're ready to work. So I think the huge difference is going to be the coaching staff. And I'm excited to see, even though Austin Jackson might be starting at left guard and some people, want to jump off the bridge, I feel confident about Austin Jackson just because of the coaching staff. He hasn't proved nothing. That he doesn't earn the confidence or the optimism for him starting at left guard. I understand people scratching their heads, but the coaching staff has earned that just by how their prior history, but also what they plan to do. And you're absolutely right. It's not just offensive line. It's the running back.
I'm right.
It's the fullbacks. You got to include these guys as well when it comes to protecting your quarterback and the running game and et cetera. That's why I think a huge player that I brought up last week, I believe on overtime, we were talking about after we did that doubleheader, we talked about players that we discussed players who not enough people are talking about, et cetera. And I brought up Alec Ingold, the fullback we signed, Hank. I think he's going to be a huge impact player for Miami. He counts for that. He's not just offensive line help. He's receiving help. He's running back help. I kind of think of a Charles Clay type situation. And I'm excited to see what Miami does with him, especially after what McDaniel did with the fullback in San Francisco. So I understand the cautious optimism on the offensive line. I think people need to be realistic with it, but I think coaching staff is the reason why you should be optimistic and why you think the offensive line might be a lot better.
Well, let me address the people that aren't optimistic, okay? You keep saying that you're optimistic and you keep mentioning the doubting and all that. All right, well, let me solve the doubting, okay? Let's eliminate this mind of doubt for people. First off, Miami has done more in their wide receiver room than they ever have in any time in the offseason. Second off, they've done more on the offensive line to protect Tua than they ever have in the past 10 years. Third, you have new running backs that have speed like we've never had speed coming out of the backfield like that before. Not like we have now. So that's the third component. The fourth component is this offensive unit has 2-year players on it. And like Bobby's saying, you have this coaching staff that's going to come in and is going to try to revamp, which also gives all those players another new opportunity. It's like those players are starting over again with 2 years experience in the league. And I believe that McDaniel and company are going to be able to make it all happen. So you have four major components that things have changed that they haven't changed before for Miami in the past 20 years or so. I'm very optimistic, and it's not just because I'm a Miami Dolphins fan and because I'm a homer. No, I'm optimistic because there's reason for optimism. And you have your defense, your entire defense returning from the year before. I like what Miami's doing. I'm really happy to be a Miami Dolphins fan this year.
Absolutely. And then let's see here. Hammer Time, what's up, man? Good morning, good afternoon. Fins
Hey,
up as
Hammer
always.
Time!
And don't forget, guys, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Fins Talk Network. All right. So as we move on, let's discuss. We discussed running backs a few weeks back, and how that room is pretty packed up, and who might be the odd man out. Like you just brought up, the wide receiver room has been heavily revamped. I mean, everybody thought it was in the offensive line. That was going to be a huge change and everything else, but they didn't blow up the offensive line. They just added 2 pieces and got rid of a couple of guys. Everything else is pretty much the same. The receiver room is 100 times different.
Thanks, Raph.
Excuse me. Jalen Waddle is back. Yes. Lynn Bowden is still there. Preston Williams is coming back, but Cedric Wilson, the receiver we got from the rookie wide receiver we drafted, Tyreek Hill we got from a trade that shocked the NFL world, the football world, the Dolphins.
I thought we decided to call him Easy to make it easy for us to say his name.
Thank you, Easy E. That's right. I just say rookie wide receiver, double E. So
Bobby, you know me, I can screw up anybody's name.
That's right. So I like it, Easy E. So we talked about the running back room, but let's talk about this wide receiver room. There's a lot of potential here with a lot of these players. Okay, I mean Cedric Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Lynn Bowden, Easy E, Jalen Waddle, Preston Williams, when healthy, is a playmaker. But somebody's got to go. So I know that we're not going to talk about the guys at the bottom of the barrel here, but let's talk about these main dudes. And again, Tyreek, Jalen, Easy E, Cedric Wilson, Lynn Bowden, Preston Williams. I might be missing somebody. If I do, that might be a bottom of the barrel guy. But if I am, please, guys, in the comments right below.
Yeah, there's plenty of wide receivers.
Exactly.
Right now,
but Hank, so out of these main guys we're discussing, which one is the odd man out in your opinion?
Why don't we just go with the 4 or 5 that we're looking at? Rather than me pick the odd man out, I'll just leave everybody out that's not going to make it. How's that?
Sure.
Okay. Because I can do that. But the other way, I got to think too much. So you're going to have Hunt. You're going to have Wilson Jr. You're going to have Waddle. Who else are you going to have, Bobby? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, Lynn Bowden.
Lynn Bowden. And who's number 5?
Is it Easy E?
Easy E. It's got to be Easy E. But Miami's going to hold 6, right? So we're going to also put the rookie in there.
Which is Easy E. Double E.
Which is Easy E. So there you go. There's your 6 players. Everybody else is going to be on the outside looking in. The only person that might come through and do something a little different and squeeze their way in is Preston Williams.
Yeah, and that's for me. If you say odd man out, when I'm looking at this roster, the only one I could say that more than likely won't make it, not more than likely, if you're going to give me the odd man out, I'm going to say it's Preston Williams. And yes. I like Preston Williams a lot. I like that when he's healthy on the field, He's a big play receiver. He's not going to get you a lot of yards. He's not going to get you a lot of touchdowns, but he will get you that touchdown you need when in an hour of need. You know, he's like Mike Gesicki, but Mike Gesicki is reliable. He's healthy. He stays on the field, where Preston is not. But Preston, when on the field, when healthy, is reliable. But you got Lynn Bowden, who fits the scheme of Mike McDaniel. You got the rookie, who fits the scheme of Mike McDaniel. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill aren't going anywhere. Cedric Wilson, I think, could be a surprise star for the Dolphins. We're talking about Tyreek and Jalen Waddle with Gesicki. No one's really mentioning Cedric Wilson. And last year, I know because when we signed Cedric Wilson, before we did anything, before we got Tyreek or anybody, Dolphin fans were like, "Who the hell was this guy? Who is this guy?" I had to do some research. And you know what? When I went to Cowboys Twitter, the Dallas Cowboys fans, and when I went to their Twitter, and I talked to some Cowboys fans where I'm at, but first the one on Twitter, when I went to the Cowboys Twitter, the fans were pissed. They did not want to lose this guy. So that told me a lot. And then when I talked to the Cowboy fans here, a lot of them were devastated to lose this kid. So, yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I think Cedric Wilson is a sleeper. I think he has potential to be one of the breakout stars for the Dolphins because everybody's going to be looking Tyreek and Jalen Waddle's way. So this kid might be eating up some numbers. So I think he'll have a great chance. So Preston Williams, in my opinion, might be the odd man out, but I'm not going to sleep on him. But that's my choice.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm just reading some of the comments here, so don't mind me, folks. I'm not ignoring you. I'm reading what you folks have to say.
Yeah.
And, yes, we are the Zoo Crew. Woohoo! I love that saying for the Dolphins, the Zoo Crew.
And it is an exciting year, Hammer Time. Thank you, as always, brother, for joining. And he's not that much different from CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I'm excited to watch him. I really am. That's everybody's talking about the big guys, the big name players. And we kind of talked about a little bit, I know this wasn't on the I'm not comparing, but it's something we talked about on Overtime, Hank. And I know we got our trivia coming up, and I'm excited that everybody is commenting because I want you all to participate. But the one thing this is why Cedric Wilson is exciting for me. We've been through this with star wide receivers. We expect a lot from Tyreek Hill this season. But we've been here before. When the Dolphins tried to help the young quarterback, they go get a star wide receiver. With Chad Henne, remember Chad Henne, our second-round pick back in the day with Jake Long? Who was the wide receiver we got for him? We got Brandon Marshall. That was exciting. We got him from Denver. And he did well for us for the 2 years. Actually, looking back on his numbers, he was pretty damn good for us. And then, of course, for Ryan Tannehill, the star wide receiver was Mike Wallace out of Pittsburgh.
Oh.
He didn't do a damn thing for us. He had 10 touchdowns a year after, but really didn't do anything. They only lasted 2 seasons, Hank. When I went back to look at that, they only lasted 2 years from us, and they never built that chemistry with the quarterback. Brandon Marshall with Chad Henne, and then, of course, Ryan Tannehill with Mike Wallace. My question back then, or last week, was, could this be the situation with Tyreek and Tua? Now, why that could be different is Tyreek actually going out of his way to build that chemistry with Tua. That's why it's different. Now, I don't know what could happen 2 years from now, but that was the question. So I don't expect Tyreek. I'm kind of mellowing my expectations for his numbers next season, but just because everybody's going to be looking his way. Jalen Waddle might be a little higher, but Cedric Wilson is definitely going to take advantage, I believe, of that double coverage and that extra attention Tyreek Hill's going to demand. So
I think you're right, but I think it's going to be the combination of Waddle and Hill that are going to make Miami's offense just run. I mean, everybody's just – if you look at the tape, Bobby, it shows everybody loading up every time. They were loading up and loading up. They're not going to be able to do that. I don't know how they're going to cover the first 3, which is Gesicki, Hill, Waddle. And then you throw Wilson Jr. in there, and then you throw one of those speed backs out of the backfield. Woo! 5. That's 5 major starters you have to cover. 5. That's tough. That's tough for any team on defense. That's tough.
It's going to be exciting for sure, just to see how that wide receiver unit's going to look. And how that might improve or help Tua next season, especially with the
I
offensive
think
line
he's
and
going to
coaching
blow
staff.
up. I think they're going to blow up. I love it. I'm happy. I'm excited.
So let's talk about quarterback we're not talking Tua here. Let's talk Dolphins quarterback, but not Tua. We're going to play some trivia, guys. And Ed, again, Ed writes, Miami's team is stacked. The negatives I see are their first-year head coach, new offensive coordinator, and Tua. Year 2 and 3 of Miami's team will be scary good. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that I would say is
that and the right side of the offense.
Yeah. It just wait and see. That's what it is. I understand.
Wait and see with the offense.
Yeah, I understand the saying, hey, you know what? This is a rookie coach. It's a rookie. Tua hasn't. I get all that, but Miami has done enough to allow these guys to flourish. If they don't, we move. If they do, it's a win-win situation. I keep saying that.
That's what I keep saying.
Even when we lose,
we've been in a win-win situation because if Tua can't do it, we have somebody coming in next year. We all knew this for years.
That 100%. But let's talk quarterback, Hank. So, diehard, lifelong Dolphin fans. I know Ralph is. I know for sure. So, guys, I don't want you to cheat, okay? But in the comments below, all right, as Hank's going, if you can name as many as you can, there has been at least, and I hope it's 22 quarterbacks since 1999 when Dan Marino retired. 1999, Marino retired. So there's been at least 22 quarterbacks. So, Fish Tank, here's your trivia.
Uh-oh.
I did this, and I got some names on there. I did really good, but I was still very disappointed because there were guys I couldn't. Okay, and I'll tell you right now without saying who they are first. But 2002, these are the players. We don't have to go by year. You just spit out names, and I'll hit the list and tell you which one. But these were when I did it: 2002, 2004, 2006, 2006. 2007, 2010, and 2018. Those were they went from 2000 to 2019. All the quarterbacks, and those were the years that I couldn't remember. I just had a brain fart. Everyone else, I was able to get it. So you have to name. You have to try to at least name as many starting quarterbacks since Dan Marino that the Miami Dolphins have had. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this went from 2000 to 2019. So obviously, Tua's one, right? That's 22, but he's not on the list. But we could give you that one. Tua's Tua, okay? But now, go ahead. And I'll let you know. Good.
Okay. Lemon.
Cleo Lemon. Okay, that's right.
You had Henning. Chad
Henning. Yeah.
Henning. That's about all I got, Bobby. That's all I got, man.
Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so you had Chad Henne, who was a quarterback from 2009 to 2011. You had Cleo Lemon from 2006 to 2007. That
Fiedler.
Was with Jay Fiedler. Was the first quarterback after Marino retired. He was the first one. Do you remember the other quarterback after Dan Marino, who was the backup?
Oh, I probably should. Who was it?
So
Heward?
Damon Heward. Very good. So there you go. So you're doing it now. You're doing it.
You know how I remembered him? I got a bottle right behind me. It's called Passing Time. You see that?
Yeah.
This is Dan Marino's and Heward's wine.
There you go. You see?
This is their wine in Washington.
So Damon Heward. Yeah. So, okay. So you got right now, you said you only had two, but you're getting it now. So Jay Fiedler, Damon Heward, Chad Henne, Cleo Lemon. We said Tua. Yep, Tua. Who else?
Damn. I don't know, Bobby. You're going to have to list them because remember, a lot of this stuff, guys, I wasn't sitting at home. I was underway in the middle of an ocean with 40-foot seas. So
let me tell you.
My memory for those years are a little Swiss cheese just because I wasn't able to watch football. I'd be gone the whole season.
So I'll tell you. So let's just say here, Damon Heward, color commentary, which Hank has said. Joey Harrington, that was another one.
Yes,
that was
Harrington.
2006. Chad Pennington, that's right.
Who was
Trent
the
Green,
lefty again? Who was the lefty?
the lefty.
Mitchell. Scott Mitchell.
Oh well, that was probably one of the backups. So let me go ahead. So
they traded him to another team.
So let's Scott Mitchell. I'm not on my list either. Anyway, I don't know who he is, but anyway, so Jay Fiedler, Damon Heward,
Trent Green.
Trent Green, yep. Chad Pennington. You said Cleo Lemon.
And Mitchell went to Detroit. Way to go, caller.
So I'll tell you the ones I got wrong.
What up, Cap?
Cap, what's up, brother? It's been a little while. Thank you for coming back. We're talking about since Dan Marino retired. Bernie Kosar is not
Kosar.
one. Okay, so from 2000, so the ones I got, the ones I couldn't figure out, and then we'll go through the list. And you guys can keep going until we finalize it. The ones I didn't get, 2002, Ray Lucas. 2004 to 2006, Sage Rosenfels.
Yeah.
2006 was Joey Harrington. 2007, these are the guys I didn't get it. John Beck.
Oh, Beck.
2010, Tyler Thigpen.
Beck was a second-round pick.
Yeah, BYU. And then 2018 was Brock Osweiler. Those are the guys that I couldn't remember as I was doing this list. Here's everybody, okay? So here's all the quarterbacks that have been starting quarterbacks since Dan Marino retired. From 2000 to 2004, it was Jay Fiedler. From 2000, it was Damon Heward. 2002, Ray Lucas. That was number 6. 2003, I know a lot of people had hoped this would be the case, that this guy would be the franchise, but he wasn't, was Brian Greasy. 2004, A.J. Feely. I have a fun memory of A.J. Feely, especially now with this orange jersey, because growing up, you know, my brothers, my stepdad, we were all, obviously everybody in the family was diehard Dolphin fans. And we were obviously all desperate for, obviously, even right now, we're still desperate for a franchise quarterback. But I remember, what I love about A.J. Feely, as one of my favorite memories of him as a Dolphin, was watching Monday Night Football. And there's not a lot of favorite memories, but the only reason why it is because, and I always remember this, was that when A.J. Feely was traded from Philadelphia, I remember my brother, Nick, was like, this guy's going to be the franchise. This guy's going to do it. This guy's going to be the franchise quarterback. He was so excited about it. And I was like, but why? Why do you think? Why do you think he is? They were wearing the orange jerseys that night. He goes, because look how he looks in the uniform. Like, that's a quarterback. It was the funniest thing. But, you know, but that's one of my favorite memories of A.J. Feely was me and my brother's conversation. Then from 2004 to 2006 was Sage Rosenfels. In 2005 was Gus Frerotte. He was from Minnesota, and then we signed him. Gus Frerotte.
Yeah.
2006, former number 1 pick, Joey Harrington from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
2006, after that, the infamous signing with Nick Saban. Was it going to be Drew Brees or Dante Culpepper? It was Dante Culpepper. Then
I try to forget the Culpepper thing.
That's right. Me. And then then we signed Trent Green, and he got hurt. So Trent Green was 2007, and in 2007 as well was Cleo Lemon. That was the Cam Cameron year. He was the offensive coordinator for the San Diego Chargers. We signed him as our head coach. He was a disaster. It was just a pure disaster. 2007, John Beck from BYU. 2008 to 2010, Chad Pennington. 2009 to 2011, Chad Henne. 2010, Tyler Thigpen. Then from 2011 to 2017, these are years they were with the team, was Matt Moore. 2012 to 2018, Ryan Tannehill. 2017, $10 million wasted, Jay Cutler. 2018, Brock Osweiler. 2019, Fitzpatrick. And Josh Rosen. 2019. And then, of course, you have Tua. So those were all your main starting quarterbacks since Dan Marino retired in 1999. And hopefully the wheel stops with Tua. That's the prayer, but we'll see. But that was fun, and I thank everybody for tuning in, for joining in on that. So, all right. Hank,
yeah, I needed some help from everybody. Everybody helped me, and I appreciate it because I was sucking wind on that one.
All right. So, well, these were my main years. I mean, I was watching. I mean, I still am, obviously, but I remember all those years of all these type of quarterbacks and hoping they were something, and they were nothing.
When you say the names, I can recall the players and tell you about the players, but I can't list all those.
Well, you know what I find interesting, Hank, and what I find interesting is, I look at this list, and there's guys obviously where I go, man, I don't, but there are guys on here you go, man, I hope this was the guy. And I mean, you look back on this list, Harrington was a number 1 pick. You hoped he was something. Dante Culpepper was the big signing, ended up being a flop.
I did not want Culpepper. I did not want him from the beginning. I sat there and kept going, Breeze. We never got him.
And I understand it. I can't hate on it. I understand why they did it, but
I understand why they did it, but look who did it.
Yeah. So, and then Trent Green, I like Trent Green in Kansas City, good veteran quarterback. I was excited about Miami picking him up. He got hurt like in the first game or whatever. Pennington, obviously. Chad Henne, everybody was excited because, the second, right, he was a rookie quarterback. And then Ryan Tannehill. And then, of course, now Tua. Josh Rosen, but Josh Rosen was trash too. All right, so fill in the blanks, Hank, on the 2022 season. I'm going to read off the questions, and you say who it is and how many yards or touchdowns, okay? Or sacks or interceptions. You got, all right?
Whatever it may be, you got it.
All right. And guys, everyone who's tuning in, again, thank you for watching Finn's Talk today, this morning, or this afternoon, depending where you're at. Hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you, and follow us on Twitter. There's no been a change in heart and there's been no change of heart or in my voice. Ralph, it's just, the hope is the hope. We'll see. He's always trying to get me with that. All right, Hank. Leader. The first one's gonna be leader in pass yards. So this season, who will be the passing yards leader for the Miami Dolphins, and how many yards will he throw?
That's gonna be Tua, and he'll throw for over 3,000.
Okay, so over 3,000, but way more than 3,000. You're thinking like what, 35, 36?
3,500.
Okay. I have Tua as well, obviously. I expect him to be the starter for the majority of the season. I have 3,900 yards.
Wow. Say that again, Bobby.
You just take it easy there. 3,900 yards. Wishful thinking. Passing touchdowns, what do you got?
I got for passing touchdowns, the biggest person on that is going to be Waddle. That will be Waddle, and he will have 11.
All right, so receiving touchdowns, you have Jalen Waddle with 11 touchdowns. Okay. Passing touchdowns, quarterback-wise, it's going to be Tua, obviously, I assume.
Tua, yes, of course.
And how many passing touchdowns you got, my friend?
He's going to have 32.
32, okay. I have 31 touchdowns for Tua, so we're right there.
Wow, Bobby, we are close.
We are very close. Steve has 4,100 yards with 24 touchdowns. Kohler Commentary has 3,800 yards, 3,824. Lies, all lies, Bobby. That's so funny. And 30 touchdowns. Tammy, my mother there, has 3,882 yards. I have to say my mother because she hates when I say Tamara. But, all right, so rushing yards. Who's going to be our leader in rushing yards?
Wow, now that's the hard one.
Yes, it is.
All right, so we have 3 big major players that came over. The question is, who are we going to keep out of that? I'm going to say, believe it or not, I'm going to say Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds is going to have the most rushing yards.
That's my answer as well. I got Chase Edmonds. How many yards you got?
Ooh, wow. I'm going to say I'm actually going to say 1,100 yards.
Ooh, well, I would love that. I would love that. Color commentary says Miles Gaskin. Just kidding. Very funny, my friend. Steve says Sony Michel with 640. Commentary says 800 yards. I'm going to say, I'd say Chase Edmonds, and I actually have it 750 yards as the leading rusher.
You know why I have 1,100 yards?
Why is that?
Because two of the backs are going to get hurt, and it's going to leave Edmonds by himself a little bit. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is Miami's wide receivers, again, are going to pull all that BS away from that line, and those running backs are going to get a lot of yards.
And you know what? And commentary says 800 yards for everyone, all the running backs. And you know what? And I will say this, for me, that's kind of why I have it 750. It's not a knock on Chase Edmonds or the Dolphins as a leading rusher. I think the Dolphins are going to be a top 10 leading rushing team. That's where I think they're going to have the most improvement. Why do I think that? Because of who their head coach is and the way the system is. It's not just the running backs who are going to have a lot of rushing yards. It's the receivers too. I think everyone's going to be involved in that, and that's why it's like that. So color commentary is where I'm kind of leaning as well, and that's why I have Edmonds at 750.
Miami has some really good balance in the backfield right now. We don't have that big number one running back. We don't have that. But the way that McDaniel brought these folks in, I think it's going to run nice. I just really think some of the running backs are going to get hurt, and they always do. And that's where I get the extra yardage that nobody else is coming up with.
All right, so let's go rushing touchdowns. Who's your leader and how many?
Rushing touchdowns, going to be the same player, Chase Edmonds. And I'm going to say he will have 8.
All right. I got Sony Michel with 6 touchdowns being our leading rusher because he's more of the bell cow. I see those red zone touchdowns. All right. Most catches next season. Who do you got?
Wow, that's a hard one.
It is hard.
It's between Wilson Jr. and Waddle, to be honest with you.
That's
for
fair.
Me. And I'm going to say Waddle. And I'm going to say he'll have 90 catches.
Are you reading my paper?
Hey,
I'm in
Oregon.
I got Jalen Waddle at 90 right there, my man. All right, Jalen Waddle with 90 catches. We agree. Gaskin had 7 touchdowns last season.
I'm feeling your vibes today, Bobby.
That's right. Edmonds.
See, I'm reading your mind, so that means I'm psychotic,
touchdowns.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, that's psychic.
Oh, that's right, psychic. Well, psychic, psychotic. I'm both of those.
Yes, be fair. Let's go with both. All right. Receiving yards. Who do you got?
Receiving yards. Did we already cover this one?
No, you had receiving touchdowns. Who's your receiving yards?
Okay. Receiving yards. That's going to be Waddle again. He'll have 1,200.
All right. I got Tyreek Hill at 1,100. I have Tyreek with 1,100 yards. So Jalen Waddle at 90 catches, Tyreek at 1,100. You had receiving touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, what was that number?
I don't remember. Do you?
You're asking the wrong person.
11.
I had 11 touchdowns. I had Mike Gesicki at 12 touchdowns. That's my leading one at touchdowns. I think Gesicki, just like Cedric Wilson, is going to take advantage of the Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle combo. He's going to, especially in that red zone. I think
it's hard to say which one of these receivers is going to do it because they're all good.
Yeah, it's a good year to be a Dolphin fan, especially if you are a fan of receivers. Now, this one's interesting. Number of sacks. Who's the leader in sacks this season?
Oh, that's Jalen Phillips. That's going to be 10 sacks.
All right. I got Emmanuel Akpa at 11 sacks, even though I think Phillips is going to be right there. I got Akpa. Now, interceptions. You have Noah Igbenogany, right?
Yeah, right. No. Obviously, we all have X, and we're all going to say 10.
Oh, don't do that to me. I have Xavier Howard, and I have 8. So I have Xavier Howard.
You have 8?
I got 8. I got to go 8. I got 8. Don't hate. Appreciate. Oh, man. All right. So there you go, guys.
says we're going to start looking alike. I hope not. I don't want Bobby to be that good looking.
But hey, you know what? I mean, I obviously, there are trolls on Twitter, and there are people who have to wait and see. I'm cautiously optimistic when it comes to the quarterback position because of the coaching staff and everything they've done. But obviously, right now, as a Dolphins fan, everyone is excited. I mean, we're 1 month away from football, everybody. It's July.
Yes!
We're 1 month away from preseason football.
I'm ready.
And that now everything, it's like as one of my mother's soap operas, as the world turns.
You know what, Bobby?
As we keep going.
I just bought plane tickets to Florida so I can watch these babies.
There you go.
I'm ready.
That's right. Now, if you go and you're like 5 games in and the Dolphins are 0-5, I want you to sell your season tickets. Don't go to any more games. Don't be the jinx, Hank. No, I'm just kidding. But
you trying to say I'm a jinx because I'm going to see my team? My goodness, man! Why do you throw that heavy stuff on my shoulders like that?
Well, look, hey guys. First off, again, as always, thank you for tuning in. It's been a fun Saturday morning for Hank, myself, and an afternoon for everyone on the East Coast. As always, thank you for watching Fins Talk today. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. There's a lot of great content, Dolphins content, and there's going to be a lot more great Miami sports content. I'm talking about, of course, Miami Dolphins and Miami Heat. I mean, you got the Fins Talk today with me and Hank as we do things like this. You got overtime on Monday with me and Brett and whatever guests we could have on. And then, of course, you got the Goon Squad on Wednesday, which is just some crazy stuff. We're just nuts on that one. But
see you later, commentary.
Caller
see you
commentary.
Later, Hammer time.
So,
thanks,
as
Steve.
always, thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you didn't get to watch the show live and you want to participate, put those comments below what you think the answers are. And in terms of fill in the blanks, we'll love to see it, interact with you guys. Follow us on Twitter. You got Fins to Win on Twitter, Bobby Fins Talk, and of course the Fins Talk Network. We'll see you guys next time. Fins up.